Welcome, everybody, inside the Carlin Lynch Activity Center here at Dartmouth High School. Playoff basketball on tap for you. It's 5 o'clock start here in round one. The Dartmouth Indians hosting the Brockton Boxers in the girls' playoff bracket here for the Southeast Conference. Great to be with you. Once again, I'm Evan Massoud. Haven't seen y'all since the fall. Had a pretty stacked winter sports schedule in Fall River, but thrilled to be back with you here in the town of Dartmouth for some playoff hoops. So let's get you started here. Brockton coming in the number 5 seed in the 5-team conference. Dartmouth coming in at number 4. The records are for Brockton 1-7, Dartmouth 2-6. Really, the difference between these two teams is that Dartmouth was able to beat Durfee right here back on January the 29th. That game came just 4 days after Dartmouth lost to Durfee in Fall River by 19. They came here and they beat Durfee here by 19. So kind of a, turn of the tides, if you will. We're going to take a look at some highlights from the last time that these two teams played each other, which was just last Wednesday. This is the third time the Boxers and the Indians are squaring off in just 1 week. They had basically a home and home last Wednesday on Tuesday in Brockton. The Boxers had a 2-point lead with 40 seconds to go. They committed 2 personal fouls. The Indians hit all 4 free throws, and they won it by 2 points, that victory being a 54-52 win. Then on Wednesday here, it was the Boxers kind of returning the favor with some clutch free throws down the stretch. They went up by 4 with 20 seconds to play. The Indians had possession. They nailed a 3-pointer, but it was at the buzzer. And when you're down 4, it's just for pride. Dartmouth lost that one on Wednesday here by just 1 point. But they were down considerably at halftime in that game. So they came back quite a bit. They were down 31. They were down quite a bit at halftime, and they did come back to make it just a 1-point game. We're going to pause for the national anthem, and we'll tip it off here. All right. Anthem is over. The teams are huddling up for a quick word with their coaches, and then we'll get this one started. Let's run down the starters for both sides. We'll start with the visiting Boxers right on your screen, led by head coach Morgan Thatcher. Their starters are as follows. Captain number 4, Malaysia Dingle. Number 5, Abigail Cherry. Captain number 11, Neilani Montero. Number 33, Jazlani Tavares. And number 34, Nagazi Nwosu. And for the Lady Indians, led by head coach Scott Richards. Number 2, Samara Turgeon. Number 4, Casey Oliver. Number 11, Audrey Morin. Number 14, Abby Zuber. And number 44, Alexandra Kojakaru. And the Indians will start with possession here. Of course, the beauty of high school playoffs is it's sudden death, one and done. You got to win to keep playing, so it makes it very exciting. And a turnover to start us off. The Boxers will take it back the other way. Dartmouth in their usual white home uniforms with green lettering. Brockton wearing their black with red accents and white lettering here on the road. Inbounding is Cherry. Long pass in. It sails over the head of Nwosu and out of play. Dartmouth ball. Both these teams coming in off of a loss on Friday. Again, mentioning at the very beginning of the broadcast that really the only reason we're here is that Dartmouth with that extra win, and it was against Durfee. Brockton had Durfee on Friday. Great passing and a dropped ball there from Kojakaru, and Indians throw it away again. So multiple turnovers in this opening minute. Brockton led 21-15 at halftime on Friday in Fall River. As they get on the board first, it's Tavares with the basket. Very low scoring affair in Fall River on Friday. Brockton led by 6 at halftime. They ended up losing that one on Friday, 39-32. Durfee came from behind. That's going out of play, and that gave Brockton their 7th loss. Here at the Carlin Lynch Activity Center, Dartmouth lost on Friday 51-44. They were down by 14 at halftime, so they did close the gap a bit, but New Bedford grabbing that 7th victory, having a very good season. They were able to defeat the Indians here on Friday. So again, both teams coming in after a loss in this essentially play-in round. Tavares once again underneath. Carbon copy of their last possession. On Friday, she had 8 points against Durfee from doing exactly that. Long 3, that's going to be wide to the left. Taken by Morin. The putback shot from Oliver after the rebound went to Kojakaru, and the Indians are on the board here. Three taken, and it's off the rim, trying to recover it, stepping out of play. It's going to be Bang, bang call it goes Brockton's way as Oliver took the long three from the point, tried to get it back after Kojikaru was there, and it tipped away from her, but the foot race between Oliver and Cherry went Cherry's way for Brockton. I would expect this to be a very tight game back and forth throughout, particularly given the nature of the first two games. A three from the corner for Dingle. Dingle had a really good first quarter on Friday. 8 total points, 5 for 5 at the line, and then a 3-ball. We never heard from her again. Hilltoppers really shut her down. And I would say, Brockton's loss on Friday was really due to the Hilltoppers' defense. The shooting honestly was really not very good for both sides on Friday. But where both teams lacked in shooting, Durfee's defense really gave Brockton a lot of trouble. Mix that in with a couple questionable calls from the officials, and it kind of rattled the Boxers a bit. Jump ball quickly called. I'll be honest, the officials actually have been, I think, rather consistent considering, some of the minor rule changes and whatnot, modifications here with COVID. I think the officials have done a really good job this season, but the crew, I hadn't seen the crew that we had last Friday in Fall River, at least, a little bit rough. There were some calls that kind of that really frustrated both coaches. And, sometimes you get those games. It is what it is. Everybody's human on that court, including the men and women in pinstripes. So tough job, that's for sure. But it definitely, having been at that game Friday, you could tell it definitely, some of the calls were frustrating Brockton a bit, and I think it let it get to them a little too much, at least from what I was seeing from the bleachers. 7-2 here, halfway through the first. Dartmouth with just the one field goal. That came about 2 minutes ago from Oliver. They've had some good ball movement down below, but unable to cash in just like that right there. They do get the rebound back. It's Oliver with it. Has options left and right. They go to Turgeon, back to Oliver, looking for some space. There's contact. The basket does not go, but she's going to take 2 shots from the free throw line as we have our first foul of the game. Foul is on Dingle, her first. Oliver missing on the first shot. When I mentioned the defense, if Dartmouth can play quick defense and really mess with Brockton in terms of, sticking the hand in, trying to jar the ball loose. Oliver gets her own rebound on her second miss, pulls up for a jumper. It's long, tips back out. Loose ball is picked back up. This time that appears to be Zuber. Excuse me, that's Jenkins, number 10. So that was a great effort there. Now long three for Oliver on the far side. No good. Kojikaru goes to put it back. The Indians getting their chances, just unable to come away with some points. Kojikaru going to the line as Brockton picks up foul number 2. This one's on Tavares. And while we have that break, I was about to say about the defense, if Dartmouth can play strong defense, aggressive defense, that might save them. They got to make the baskets, of course. 0 for 3 so far at the line, so there's 3 points left out there. But Durfee held Brockton to just 11 second-half points on Friday and 5 field goals. So they really did a good job at stymieing Brockton in any chance they could. So if the Indians can play solid defense and not get too far behind here early in the game, I'd say they have a good shot at it. Passing in the paint, kicking it back out, or trying to. Loose ball, tipped back in by Morin, but then stolen by Nevaeh Madison. Cherry back to Madison, 3 from the corner, no good, skips off the rim. And right into the hands there of Jenkins. Kojikaru gets the feed, waits on it, misses. Loose ball. Boxers able to corral it and hang on. Another good set for Madison. Getting called on the travel. Looked like she wanted the three attempt from this side. Didn't have room. Took that extra stutter step before the dribble and got the bad news. Fighting for it. And foul coming against Madison. This is Tahia Madison. Third foul for Brockton. I thought we might see a jump ball there. It seemed like we've seen some quicker whistles for jump balls this season. Both players clearly had hands on the ball. Fed underneath to Jenkins. That one doesn't go. So frustration continuing here in this first quarter for Dartmouth. They've had a lot of good looks. And Brockton's fourth foul coming up. Beg your pardon. Dartmouth's foul. And it's on Chester. Her first, team's first. 2 shots here for Madison. That one in and out. So let's see, 5 attempts. We've yet to see a free throw made from either side. Kind of rare to start a game without any free throws made. Small sample size, of course. There's the first one. So 1 for 2 at the line there was Tahia Madison. And it's a 6-point lead as we roll up on 90 seconds in the first. Get it out to Lauren Hall. Throwing it back in. That's going to be a travel. Chester lost her footing, and nothing you can do about those. When asked about playing the same team for the 3rd time in a week, Coach Richards for Dartmouth said, hey, you know, they're in the same boat as us. He says, I don't really think it's any more challenging than playing a team the first week and then playing a team the last week of the season. He says, you know, it's just a matter of you got to execute, got to play your game, and you got to learn from the previous matchups. So whether they were, 5 days ago or a month ago, everyone's in the same boat here. So interesting perspective. I would think it's a little challenging. I mean, particularly just because you're familiar with the team more so now. You kind of, everybody knows what each other's going to do. So I think you'd have to be a little bit more creative, I guess. Whereas, when you have a month separating, teams tend to evolve as the season goes on. 3-ball is going to be well short. The putback, no good. Oliver gets a hand on it, but it'll be Brockton taking it back. The basket, that one off the rim for Dingle, but she's going to be taking a couple shots, it appears. Second foul for the Indians. First one against Amani Ramos. That one in and out for Dingle in her first trip to the line. Second one made. Shot clock is off, 28 seconds left in this first. See if the Indians can get another basket. Jumper, wide right off the glass. And Brockton leaves them with 15 seconds. Jumper no good. 2 boxes there for the rebound. Can they stay inbounds? They do. Kicking it back out for 3. No good. 1 second. No time left. And at the end of 1, a low-scoring first. Brockton up 9-2. after 8 minutes here in this sudden death playoff game. Not a whole lot to break down there. I mean, basically the bottom line here is the Indians have to make baskets. Tons of open look, particularly down low, shots that, we've seen them throughout the season make fairly, regularly. Easy layups underneath that just don't want to go, or little jumpers from, 5-6 feet out, just not going, just slightly off the mark. And honestly, being down by 7, again, Brockton didn't do too much better, quite frankly. So Indians definitely are not out of this early. 9-2, tons of basketball to play. Still anybody's game, as you see Coach Richards talking to the team in this 2.5-minute timeout in between quarters. Rest of the bracket, I'll let you know kind of where everybody's at here in terms of the conference and the matchups here. So the winner of this one's going to square off against Bridgewater Rainham, who is the number 1 seed. And Durfee and New Bedford are going to square off. They're the 2 and 3 seeds, New Bedford being the 2. So that's kind of the matchups we're looking at. So the winner of this one's going to go up against BR. High off the glass, no good, as we're underway here in the second. Brockton getting it back, kicking it back out. Dingle wants 3, no good. Jumping for the rebound was Tavares. Now Nuosu got it back. She flipped it off to Montero, who gets the basket. Kojikaru with the basket on the other end. That's Dartmouth's first field goal in almost 7 minutes. Nice pass there from Cherry. They're going out to Dingle around the perimeter. Violation called against Brockton, a turnover. For the boys bracket, Dartmouth versus New Bedford, that winner would play Brockton. The Brockton boys finishing number 1. And Durfee and BR will square off as the 2-3 seeds, BR being the 2. Tipped and stolen. Brockton does come away with it. Pass was deflected. Cherry with some space pulls up right on the corner of the paint. Can't get it to go as Abby Zuber comes away with the rebound. Thinking about 3 was Ramos. Didn't like the shot, had pressure coming, takes the jumper and settles for 2. Tavares has to come back. Ramos was pressuring. Now Dingle with it, backing up, resetting the offense. They get it to Cherry all the way across. Dingle gets there before it goes out of play. It looked like Tavares was supposed to be the one. Shot clock violation. It looked like it was intended for Tavares, but she was breaking in, and I think they were looking to get it to her in the corner because she was waiting there. Then she broke in towards the paint, and it went sailing over her head. Incredible job there by Dingle. She covered a lot of ground to keep that ball in play for the Boxers. Nonetheless, still a turnover for Brockton. Tossed up there by Zuber, no good. Off-balance shot, falling away. Cherry gets the pass. Now they find Tavares. She sends it up towards the basket. Underhand scoop, little soft, no good, out of play. And it's Dartmouth's ball. Ramos, the feed from Morin, and a foul. Brockton's fourth foul is Nwosu's first. Fourth for the team, first individually. Back to Hall. Hall has it stripped from behind as Montero jarred it loose. And it's another takeaway for Brockton, but on the tail end of it, the feed to Tavares a little out in front. She couldn't get there, and we'll go back the other way. Turgeon and Oliver coming back in as Hall and Ramos exit. Kojikaru looking for someone to pass to, ends up taking the shot. It's blocked. She gets it back, feeding it to Zuber. Loose ball on the floor. Jump ball called. As Cherry and Kojikaru were tied up and tangled on the floor. Dartmouth will keep it 13, now 12 on the shot clock after the jump ball. Tipped. Oliver can't take the shot. The defense for Brockton. Tavares, coast to coast, misses again. A little soft on the layup there. She had a good take to the basket, just not enough on it. That's a good feed. Kojikaru can't get it to go. And we're already halfway through the second in what has started out here as a very low-scoring game. Spin move for Dingle. Wide right off the mark. Kojikaru with the rebound. Gets it to Oliver, and Dartmouth back across center court. To the corner for three. That's going to be short. Might have been tipped right into the hands of Tavares as Morin took the shot, but Cherry was flying in. Again, didn't have much on it. I think Cherry may have deflected it on its way. And Montero with the basket, her second. Back to Oliver. Another three-ball attempt. Right into the hands of Kojikaru. The putback short, hits the front of the rim, taken by Zuber. And the Indians with a fresh 30. Back to Morin. Morin takes the jumper and draws the whistle. Foul number 5 for Brockton. And it is on number 5, Abigail Cherry. Her first foul. Third trip to the free throw line for the Indians. First for Audrey Morin. And she hits that one. Breaks an 0 for 5 start at the line for the team. Now 1 for 6 shooting. Dingle getting some speed, loses the ball. Oliver with a break, slows up, puts it up. Basket good. Loose ball taken. Once again, the defense. Oliver and Turgeon able to take it away. They go out to Oliver. Quick pass there to Zuber, puts it up, and that's good. It's a 2-point game, and that will inspire Coach Thatcher to call timeout. 13-11. Five 5-0 run for the Indians. Can tell Dartmouth's pace of play definitely a little quicker here in this second quarter compared to the first. As you see the boxers on your screen. Defensively, in particular, it seems like Dartmouth has sped up just a hair, just enough to, give Brock a little more trouble. And in comparison, similar to the first quarter for Brockton, kind of a flip-flop here through just about 6 minutes in the second. Dartmouth has held Brockton to just 4 points. Meanwhile, they've put up 8, so that's why they've closed the gap here. They've put up 9, making it just a 2-point game. So Brockton outscoring Dartmouth 9-2 in the first. So far here in the second, Dartmouth outscoring Brockton 9-4. A little bit of a reversal here. Boxers do get it in and give it right back to Dingle. Met by 2 Indians. Kojikaru sticks the hand out, now gets the feed. Has to slow up as she runs into traffic. The Boxers got back very quickly on defense, but another steal for the Indians and a chance to take the lead. Kojikaru goes just a little long, out of play. Brockton ball. They get it into Nevaeh Madison, number 23, back down the court now. Tossed up by Tahea Madison. Her first from the field. Long 3 from the corner is good from Morin. Quick release. Only gave her 2 on that. Foot must have been just on the line. So the 2 points for Morin. 15-13 the score. Out to Dingle all alone. That one's good, though, for 3. That's her second from downtown. .50 seconds to play in the half. Kojikaru, she'll put it up for 3. That one goes. Anything you can do, I can do better. Almost the same shot Kojikaru had from this side about 2 possessions ago, and it didn't hook in the rim. That time it did. The steal for Dartmouth to the basket, and it rolls off. Oliver there for the putback. And we're tied at 18. Brockton with 15 seconds to work with. They get the feed down to Montero. All alone, goes to the basket, and she'll drop it in for 2. 6 points for her. Dartmouth with a chance with now 3 seconds to work with. Oliver speeding ahead, pulls up for the jumper wide to the left, and no putback possible for Morin. But an exciting end to the second quarter, particularly from an offensive standpoint here. The Indians with a much improved second quarter. And they're down by just 2 points as we go into the halftime break. Third quarter will start up in about 3.5 minutes' time. We hope to stay with us here on DCTV for the second half. Welcome back, everybody. Abigail Cherry about to inbound for Brockton, leading just by 2. The Indians did a nice job clawing back. They were down by 7 after 1. They put up 16 points in that second quarter, which kind of tells you how frustrating the first quarter was for Dartmouth. So they're down by just 2, and now with a chance to tie or take the lead. They have tied it once. They've never led. Rebound going back, and a chance again for Morin, no good. So this is round 1 here, essentially a play-in game in the 5-team conference here. Taking the 3 is Montero, no good. Flipping it up is Tavares, and she's going to get the rebound back. Mishandled by the Indians. Third chance for Tavares. It's off the glass. How about 4 times? You kidding me? Wow. 3 Indians down there got to do a better job of getting that ball back. Blocked from behind. Strong reach over for Cherry. And a clean block. Yeah, you can't have a player like Tavares. You can't have someone getting 4 chances at the ball. Steal on the inbound. Montero watching the whole way. Not a lot on the throw in either. I'm not sure Zuber just didn't see her. And Dartmouth's going to pick up the foul as well. Only 2 fouls for the Indians in the first half. The foul is on Oliver. And Montero at the free throw line. Her first trip, she hit the first. Second one, no good, but the rebound goes Brockton's way. Second rebound, kicked back out, and this time it's stolen. Oliver will pick it up and take it back. Blind feed to Morin, jumper off the rim. And a foul as Ramos went for the second try. Brockton grabbing their first here. It's the second against Nwosu. They had 5 first half fouls, and Ramos will go to the line here for 2. Her first trip to the line, she hits the first one. Second one, no good. Loose ball picked up by Kojikaru, then jarred loose. Dartmouth will still have it. Good effort there from Tavares as Nwosu couldn't handle it, and that's how Dartmouth had the second chance. Sideline inbound here. Jenkins will kick it back to Oliver. Again, Dartmouth with a chance to take the lead. They would need a long ball for it. Out to Morin. Oliver calling for it back. They go to Ramos in the paint. Can't bank it home off the glass. And Cherry passes it off to Dingle, and Brockton takes it back. Jumper is no good. Kicks back out. Tavares to Cherry. Now to Montero. Cherry with an end around in the corner. Might have been tipped. Didn't get much height on it. And Dartmouth comes away with it. It's Morin now working this side. Bounce pass to Ramos. Some contact. Loses it. Fed down and tossed back up by Montero. Oliver going for the lead. No good. Tips back to Morin. I don't think it never hit the rim, so didn't reset the shot clock. Now Kojikaru. That's for 3. That's going to be long. And again, the winner of this one will square off at Bridgewater Rainham. And they're supposed to play tomorrow, from what I understand. Of course, the threat of some snow again tomorrow. And more so away from the coast. So down here in Dartmouth, not much forecasted, but up in Brockton, Bridgewater area, light to moderate, so that might play into it as well. But right now, scheduled to play tomorrow. in what essentially is the semis as we get down to 4 teams. Kojikaru gets the 3-ball. Contested shot, hands in her face. The Indians have their first lead of the game. That's her second from downtown. She's up to 8 points. Fed to Montero. Well done. Kind of off balance in terms of getting the shot. And then Nwosu is fouled on the putback. She's going to take 2 shots as Dartmouth picks up their second foul. It's Kojikaru's first foul. Nwosu. First trip to the line for her. No points on the night. First one missing. That one missing as well. So a chance there for Brockton to take the lead back, and an 0 for 2 trip to the line for Nwosu. Hall back to Oliver. Lost it for a second. Seven seconds on the shot clock. Tough take, no good. It does hit the rim. Hall gets it back. Fresh 30 out to Kojikaru. This would be for 2, no good. Now to Oliver. She gets the rebound back. Another fresh 30 for Dartmouth, and they'll kind of reset a bit. Hall gets the pass. Back to Oliver. Kojikaru to her right. They'll go there. Takes the 3. Long 3. A whistle, and I think we may have 3 free throws coming here for Kojikaru. Indeed, we do. Brockton getting hit with the foul. It's Neilani Montero's first, and you're going to see 3 free throws for Kojikaru. Misses the first. She's 0 for 2 on the night. 0 for 3 on the night at the line with that miss. Had a pair of misses in the first quarter. That one's good, and I stand corrected, by the way, just 2 shots. So again, must have just been on that line when she took the shot. It looked like it was for 3. Didn't see a signal otherwise, but that was only going to be for 2. 1 for 2 at the line. Brockton moving the ball, now down to 8 seconds on their shot clock, and it's thrown away. Dingle was all the way on this near side, and then she went baseline, full sprint to the far corner in front of her bench, and the pass led her just a little to the corner, and it was a little bit low, skipped on by. We get down into the stretch run here, 11 minutes of game time. These are the opportunities now that Dartmouth has to capitalize on. Turn the ball over, you got to get some points out of the exchange. Or if you steal the ball. Kojikaru, this is for 3. That's no good. That one tossed up by Dingle. No good, and Oliver comes away with it. Has some help. Great feed to Ramos. You might have seen Oliver, she looked to her left. She could see that Ramos was breaking and nobody else was near her, and she decided to pass it off. That selfless basketball and really good awareness on the court. Madison will inbound. 18 seconds on the shot clock for Brockton. Nwosu back to Montero. Now to Dingle. 10 seconds. Has Tahia Madison to her right. She's going to take the long 3, and it's no good. Almost, though. Tipped. by Madison and a travel. Absolutely. Couldn't slow up. And she turns it over. Couple substitutions for the Boxers. Hall takes the shot. No good. Into the hands of Cherry, who just subbed in. Jarred loose by Ramos, and she's going to take the shot. No good. Kept in by Hall. They send it back out to Oliver. Holy cow. All kinds of craziness going on here down this end of the court, but Dartmouth settling. Kojikaru gets the pass. Now that's tipped and stolen by Dingle. 1 versus 2. Hall. Third foul for the Indians. First against Hall. And Dingle going to the line for the second time in the game. 2 for 3 after that free throw. Oliver subbing out with switching with Morin. So Oliver taking a break. Both shots made by Dingle. Now she's 3 for 4 in the game. Everybody broke down the court. That was kind of strange. Morin came back to get the inbounding pass, uncontested. Nobody was there. It was tipped and then mishandled as Hall unable to. She ended up touching it as it went out. So a turnover, and Brockton with a chance to tie or take the lead back as we roll up on the final 60 seconds. No, stolen now by the Indians. Fed down low to Ramos, and she traveled. Saw the foot leave the ground. 59.1 seconds here in the third. Tight one in Dartmouth. Actually, rather fast-moving game, too. Not a lot of fouls, dare I say it. But essentially here, 3 quarters being played in 45 minutes. That's pretty good time. It's basically 2 minutes of real time for every minute of game time. Less than, really. Jumper no good. Dingle pressured in the corner, out to Cherry, now lofted to Madison with 17 seconds. Shot taken, no good. Can the Indians add to their lead here in the final 10 seconds? No. Goes off the foot. Travel called while Cherry's on the ground. Those always frustrate me. I mean, I get it. There's nothing you can do, but you're laying on the ground. Always a tough one. I don't like that rule, I have to be honest. That's just me. But it's like, what can you do? You're laying flat on your back. You're not moving. You're trying to get up. Goodness. All right, 4 seconds. Got to take the shot. Morin does take the shot. It's off the rim. No good. A very low-scoring third quarter. For Dartmouth, they grab 7 more points. The Boxers grab just 3 points. And I'll tell you one thing, though. And I mentioned defense. I thought that Dartmouth has sped up a little bit. Yes, Brockton committed some turnovers just unprovoked as well. But the Indians held Brockton to 0 from the field in those minutes. Outstanding. Brockton was 3 for 6 at the free throw line. That's it. So the Indians did what they had to do in the third. They have their lead back. They have not relinquished the lead. I should say they had never led until the third. And they're up by 2 here heading into the final 8 minutes. Should be a fun finish here on DCTV to this play-in game between number 5, Brockton, and number 4, Dartmouth. We hope you'll stay with us for these final 8 minutes. Anybody's game here. Just a 2-point lead for the Indians. All right, both teams back on the court for the final act here. Final 8 minutes. Winner of this one scheduled to travel to Bridgewater Rainham to face the #1 seed Lady Trojans, who just had a ridiculous season once again. They are scheduled to host the winner of this one tomorrow, Tuesday. Oliver, nice pass to Morin, doesn't get it to go. How many times have we seen that happen tonight? A good look for Dartmouth, and it skips off the rim. Easily 10 points. Could have been on the board. 10 extra points for Dartmouth with some of those weird balls that just didn't want to fall the right way. Foul called. Shot no good for Tavares. This is her first trip to the line. 4 points on the night, coming in the first quarter. A couple layups early in the game. Second one is good. The foul appeared to be on Turgeon, Dartmouth's 5th. Fed to Ramos, runs into traffic, it's taken away. Tavares with some help, feeds it to Montero. That one no good. Put back from Nwosu is good. It's her first basket, Brockton's first field goal of the second half, and they now lead 26-25. 3 straight points for the Boxers to start the fourth. Jumper for Oliver, nothing but net. And we'll go back and forth here. Dartmouth back ahead. 8 points for Casey Oliver tonight. Tavares puts it up, hits the bottom of the glass, comes right back down. Indians have possession. Oliver, high off the glass, into the hands of Jenkins. The putback is good by Ramos, I believe. It's hard to see the numbers there. Everybody jostled together. It's either Ramos or Jenkins. Nonetheless, Dartmouth back ahead now, but getting called on their 6th foul. And it's Ramos's 2nd personal foul. 2 shots from Montero. She's 1 for 2 in the game. Only thing I'll say is Indians have to be cautious here. You know, they want to continue to play aggressively, but they're up to 6 fouls. And if free throws become a factor like they have in both of the first 2 games that these two teams played against each other, Indians are going to have to start making some shots from the field with consistency like they did in the second and the third. Can't just rely on, protecting the lead. They got to make those kinds of shots just like that. Ramos quietly off the bench tonight with 7 points after that last one. Leading the way for both sides, we have 2 game high. Dingle with 9 for Brockton, and Kojikaru with 9, thanks to a couple shots from downtown in the second and third quarters. Now Dingle for 3. Got it! Ties the game again. That is the third for Dingle. She's the only one that's hit from outside for Brockton tonight. And those are her only field goals. They've all been from behind the arc. Oliver with another, and she's into double digits. Another long 2. 10 points for Oliver. Loose ball, jump ball. And it should be Dartmouth's ball this time. The Brockton Boxers got the last one. It is indeed Dartmouth ball. Home team up by 2. You get it to Kojikaru, working this side now. Turgeon to the right of Oliver, who has it. They go to Turgeon. Long 3 for Turgeon off the front of the rim. And another jump ball call. It'll still be Brockton ball. It'll force the Boxers to have to re-inbound the ball as Cherry, their number 5. I thought she was going to inbound. Instead, it'll be Madison. They get it to Cherry, who sends it back to Madison. Corner, Dingle, quickly covered up. And a travel called. Good defense there from Dartmouth, giving Dingle some trouble there in the corner. Timeout called on the floor with 4:17 remaining, and we still find ourselves in the same position we did at the start of the quarter. A 2-point Dartmouth lead. Both sides have put up 8 points in this fourth quarter. Indians doing it strictly in the field with Brockton. They got a long ball, a field goal, and 3 free throws. So they're kind of doing it in different ways. But Dartmouth getting the baskets from the field, and I think that might be what saves them. Again, as long as they don't run into too severe of foul trouble. They're sitting at 6. You see right there all the A-frame signs in the corner. This facility being used as one of the Massachusetts inoculation sites for the COVID vaccine, and had a successful clinic here on Saturday. And those signs staying because this fantastic facility here will be used once again. This place reminded me so much of the field house in Durfee. Just such a massive gym. And, you know, these larger high schools, you need a gym this big. It's fantastic that Dartmouth has this. Taunton's got a huge gym as well. Nice take to the basket. Madison, her first basket of the night, and it ties it up at 33 aside as we come up on the halfway mark of the fourth. Evan Massoud with you here for playoff girls basketball in Dartmouth. And a very entertaining game. Low scoring game, but when you're tied this late into it, and it really, the biggest advantage I think Brockton had was the 9-2, really, or I believe 11-2, excuse me, at the start of the second. But Dartmouth has really done much better down the stretch. Brockton takes the lead back. Montero with that basket gives herself 11 points. And Coach Richards calls timeout for his Indians team as they go back to the bench. So, great to see you all again. Really, this has been a fantastic game. Honestly, sometimes the low-scoring games might seem maybe a little boring, right? Well, not in this case, just because we've seen a lot of steals. We've seen a lot of real jostling down low for the ball, a lot of second chance efforts, third chance efforts, underneath. So teams getting their own rebounds, being able to put it up. So you're seeing, the effort is there for sure. Just a lot of balls that, quite frankly, haven't fell the right way for either side. But, 35-33, can't ask for much more with just 3:30 on the clock here. This is going to come down to the final possession, as it really has in both of the first two games. I keep mentioning it because these two teams saw each other twice just last week, and both games were won by one possession. 54-52, Dartmouth won on Tuesday in Brockton. The Boxers came back here on Wednesday. They won by 1 point. They were up by 4 down the stretch. Indians hit a 3-ball at the buzzer, so that's why a 1-point victory, but still very close game, as is tonight. Back and forth we've gone here in the second half. 3-ball for Lauren Hall. And Dartmouth's back ahead by 1. Lauren's first basket. She's been in and out, on and off the court, I should say, from the bench. She did not start tonight. One of the biggest shots of the night for the Indians. Tight defense. Cherry with little room, saying it was deflected, so no back court there. We'll play on. Dingle got the feed now as she's on the far side and kind of setting the play. They go to Madison. Madison looking for some room. Well, I'm surprised there was no foul there called against Kojikaru. Hands were up. She definitely made contact, and you kind of saw a split second, look by Madison towards the officials, like one almost put the hands up, say, where's the call? Ball goes out of play. No foul. 3 seconds on the shot clock, so the Boxers have to get it in and take a shot quickly here. Tipped. Shot is off. Does not hit the rim. Does not go down. And it's essentially a turnover. So Dartmouth with the ball and once again with a chance to add to their lead. Hall back to Oliver. Kojikaru. Back to Oliver. Long 2. That one no good. Hall is there for the rebound. Back to Oliver now. Who came to this side, now switching places with Hall. Kojikaru again, far side, double teamed, passing it off to Jenkins. Long ball, no good. Oliver comes flying in, puts it in off the glass. Foul called, count it, and 1. Brockton's third foul. We'll take a look at the replay because that was a sweet sequence for the Indians. And a real tough shot. The angle there doesn't show her. Oliver was basically behind the glass. She's going to get her own rebound on the miss and grab 2 more points. Big swing for the Indians with 2 minutes to go. 40-35, their largest lead. That foul there was on Madison, by the way, down below. It was Brockton's third foul of this second half. Not a lot of fouls in this game, period. Neither side has put the other into bonus. Oliver, jumper no good. Kojikaru gets the rebound. And another whistle. The foul's on Nuosu. This is her third. Brockton's fourth. 2 shots for Kojikaru. She's 1 for 4 on the night. These are big free throws here. First one missing. Second one is good. So the Indians with a 6-point lead And a timeout called. Let's tally up some of these points. Unofficial points here, by the way. With that last free throw, Coach Akaru, 10 points in the game for her. Casey Oliver with 6 points here in the fourth, 4 of which coming on that last exchange. She had the basket, drew the foul, missed on the free throw, and then got the layup again. So a 4-point swing for her alone. She's up to 12 points. 12 points for Dingle on the other side, thanks to her long ball attack. 11 for Neilani Montero. Those are your leading scorers for both sides. All right, both teams break the huddle, using every second of the timeout. 85 seconds to go. Brockton has some work to do. The shooting's been much better here in this fourth quarter. They've put up 12 points, only 3 in the third. So 12 points here in the fourth. If you're Dartmouth, you got to just play it smart. Don't commit any unnecessary fouls. Keep doing what you're doing, and you'll be able to hold on, because the defense has been very good for the Indians. That one goes out of play, so Brockton will get to re-inbound the ball, reset, I should say, with after the ball hit the rim. So 30 seconds on the shot clock. They get it into Dingle. Tipped, out of play. It'll stop the clock again. They'll hand it off this time to Montero. Off-balance shot. Gets it back, gets the basket, and Montero with 13 points. It's a 4-point game. Under a minute to play. Winner goes to BR tomorrow. Long pass across. Blocked. Montero to Morin. Taken away by Oliver. And a timeout called by Coach Richards as soon as Oliver gained possession of the ball. Good steal there, and you kind of saw Montero shrug the shoulders. She got the good block down this the left side of the court on the shot from Morin, and then she gets the ball back, takes it up the side, and has it stolen back from her, and kind of shrugged the shoulders like frustration setting in. 39.1, and the Indians will have the ball here. Warning buzzer. Both teams coming in. Ramos will inbound. They get it to Oliver. Oliver breaks free. Gets across center court. 30 seconds to play. Cherry and Montero kind of falling in, double teaming, goes out of play. And actually, it ends up being a foul on Cherry. Brockton's fifth. The inbound, they get it to Morin, who is quickly fouled as well. Sixth foul for the Boxers, second for Montero. Into Morin. Back passing to Oliver, and they foul Oliver. Seventh foul. Puts Brockton into bonus. And now we play the free throw game. How ironic, again, considering how significant the free throw game was in the first two matchups. Oliver misses the first one, has not hit one tonight in 4 tries. But they get the ball back with 15 seconds, and they're forced to foul again. It'll be Brockton's 8th. And the 3rd against Cherry. So another opportunity for Oliver, and this time she hits the first. And with 16.5, second one missing, a 5-point lead for Dartmouth. 15.2 officially on the clock. The timeout called by Coach Thatcher. You can hear Coach Richards saying, do not foul on a 3-ball attempt. Foul against the Indians. Coach Thatcher walking down the sidelines and kind of making the call too. It'll be Jenkins' first foul. It puts the Indians up to 7. And it's going to put Tavares at the line, who is 1 for 2. This should be a 1-and-1. Misses. Oliver with it. 5 seconds to play, and she's fouled. It'll be the 9th foul for the Boxers. The 2nd against Dingle. She had one way back in the first. And Oliver back to the line once again. Makes it. Both of them good, a 3-possession game, and that is going to ice it. 5.6 seconds to play. The Boxers will get it in. Dartmouth will play back, and Dartmouth will head to BR tomorrow as they knock out the Boxers in round 1, 44-33 here at the Carlin Lynch Activity Center. I'll tell you, we watched over the last couple of games. Dartmouth does tend to start maybe just a little slow, but they definitely finish a game well. And tonight, they finished it with a 7-point lead. They were down 9-2 in the first. After one, I should say, at half, down 20-18. They led 25-23 after 3, and they go on to win by 7 here at home against Brockton. So for Dartmouth overall, it's their 3rd win of the season, 3-6 overall record, combining regular and now postseason. Brockton will finish 2021 1-8. So 44-37, the final score. A good win for Dartmouth. Their highest output in any quarter in terms of points. 19 points here in the 4th quarter. Fun one tonight in Dartmouth. Always fun when the home team wins, right? Thrilled that you were with us for the live broadcast here on DCTV, streaming live on the web. Again, the Dartmouth girls heading to Bridgewater Rainham for essentially the semifinals against the number 1 seed, scheduled for tomorrow. Thanks for tuning in, everybody, for our great crew behind the scenes here at DCTV. I'm Evan Massoud. Enjoy a good evening.